Hey, what's up, guys? Rob here with Aloha Android, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Samsung Galaxy J7 for Boost Mobile. So right off the bat, this device is a phablet, sports a 5.5-inch display with a resolution of 720 by 1280, and between 5 and 5.5 inches is it's my zone for a smartphone, so not bad at all. The bottom, you have your home, your back, and your recent apps button. The recent apps and the back button does not light up. The right side, you have your power button and your lock button. Left side, you have your volume rocker. The bottom here, you'll see you have a microphone, you have the micro USB port, and you have your 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. Top side, we have a noise canceling / camcorder microphone. On the top, you have your proximity sensor, earpiece, LED flash, 5 megapixel selfie camera. Flip it around to the back, you have your LED flash, 13 megapixel camera, and your speaker. And of course, my phone is wrapped in a case, so you really won't see the body of it. Now, when we take a look at the display, I'll tell you guys right now, the display is okay. It's not the best. Definitely is not the worst. The colors seem to be okay, not overly saturated, but not dulled out. And the colors just seem to it just seems to be fair. That's how I describe it. When you look at the lettering of each application, you'll notice a dotted effect. I don't know if it's just me and how I look at displays, but if you do, let me know in the comment section because that's something that I've seen. So it lets me know that this is not a super sharp display, but it gets the job done as far as looking at it. And trust me, it's not that bad to look at. So it's not like you're going to kill your eyes. You can customize it with wallpapers, you can change the theme, add widgets, and you can even adjust the icon grid, which is great. If you install it, you can also have Samsung Briefing, which is powered by Flipboard, which is similar to HTC Blink Feed and Google's Google Now, the news cards, which is to the Google Now launcher. So you have all kinds of articles and different subjects, and I'm wondering if you can actually connect your social media to it. Um, Something I need to figure out. The notification drop down, you can basically customize the quick settings, add in what you normally use, what you find most important, and it fairly holds a lot as normal Samsung devices do. So you have all kinds of options there. Adjust it to how you like it. Not a big deal. So basically, just to let you guys know, this thing is running the Snapdragon 615, which we'll get into later on. Um, but let's demo the camera right now. So here's the camera, and the cameras are okay. The selfie camera is actually really good on here, especially with low lighting. As for the rear camera, it is kind of a letdown. So here's the settings right now. You can adjust the video, which you get full HD, HD, and VGA. You can enable gesture control, which is similar to LG's gesture shot, but a little bit different. I'll demo that here in a little bit. You can save pictures as previewed. You can turn on grid lines, location tagging, review pictures, quick launch, storage location. You can adjust, you can change what the volume key is. So those are all pretty cool things. So here's the gesture shot. You just keep your palm open and it'll start the countdown, which is different because LG's, you basically open your palm and then close it to begin the countdown. So don't get confused now. Just gotta leave it open. So as you can see in the shot, when you zoom in, certain areas that are like dark or like black colored, you kind of see this haze, like this dotted effect, and that could make a break for people, especially if you're into photography. This camera is not going to be great. But if you're someone like me who just likes to take random selfies and just capture moments with the family, it'll hold up just fine. Let's take a shot with the rear camera and I'll show you guys. We'll zoom in on the photo to show you guys some more. So here I'll take my pan droid and let's zoom in on the nose. Get that nose zoomed in. There we go. And let's pull up the photo. And see right here, it looks fine. The blacks look smooth, nice and crisp. But once you zoom in, bam, dotted effect, hazed out. Um, that's something that I said. Like people who are into photography are not gonna like that. So if you're heavy on taking photos professionally, yeah, you're not gonna like these cameras. So let's go ahead and record a video, and I'll actually put in the video clip from the device. So you guys can see right here, this is the video clip itself, indoor. And one thing you'll notice is how fast that it zooms in on something and then, well, not zooms, but focuses on a certain point and then easily switches to a different focal point, which I think is something that's really good about taking videos with this. Like watch again, it focuses on the panda and then it automatically focuses on Krang. That just seamlessly transfers over without stutter or anything is something that I can really appreciate about taking videos, which is something that I normally do with my smartphones anyway. So for me, the cameras on this phone is going to be just fine. Here is the selfie cam, and we're going to take a selfie video. So I'm going to take a break here and take a quick vape. And you guys just watch the vapor clouds and the movements and everything. The frames is actually not bad. Um, Here we go again from the phone itself. And yeah, so I mean, it's going to take good videos, which is something that I've noticed about this phone. It takes great videos for a budget device, but pictures is where it's gonna lack at. Even though the one great thing I can say about the camera with pictures is that low lighting it does very, very well. At least the selfie cam does. So while we're opening up apps here to demo basically how fast apps open, this device, like I said, runs the Snapdragon 615 processor. It's got 2 GB of RAM. It does have NFC. So those are some of the things that people are probably interested in. Now the 615 does tend to heat up when you do games. I'll talk a little bit about that towards the end of the video. We'll get into that. But I gotta say that the processor being clocked at 1.4 gigahertz and it's an octa-core processor, it does kind of move apps pretty well. I gotta say, it's not like super fast, but it ain't sluggish like the Snapdragon 410. So you guys can see I opened up the Play Store and it opened up just fine. Let's open up the Galaxy app. And there we had just a slight lag, but nothing that was really going to ruin the experience. Okay, so here's a dialer, standard dialer, and some of the dialer codes do not work on here. So like this one where you could adjust the signal from LTE CDMA to include GSM, you won't be able to access that from the dialer. All right, so let's see. Let's go ahead and check out settings here. We're going to go look at the version of Android. It is running Android 6.0.1. So the latest version of Android until Android N comes out, which I'm hoping that this device does get Android N. But it's not going to break my heart if it doesn't because it is a budget device. So there's a marshmallow logo, and we'll launch a little Easter egg game. And I tremendously suck at this game, by the way. So, yeah, that's it, guys. I'm not gonna get past one. So, anyways, let's go into briefing real quick because this is something that I find to be interesting, and I wish the J3 had this. But I'll show you guys how the articles open up and how you go through articles. It's got this really cool way of doing it. You tap to launch the article, you scroll through, and then once you're at the end of the article, it just slides up and completely gone. I haven't played around with briefing because I only discovered it recently, so I'm probably going to update video about this. But I would really love it if it did actually have a way to incorporate your social media like Google Plus, Facebook, kind of like what Blink Feed does. I really wish that this had it, and I'm thinking it might. I'm not sure because it is tied to Flipboard, so I just gotta play around with it more. All right, so here is your recent apps, Rolodex style, stock Android style, and there's a button to clear them all. So, which is great. Again, with the octa-core processor, you can pretty much run a lot of apps in background, and it's not going to kill you. So let's launch YouTube for video playback and audio. And let's go and choose one of my videos. I just uploaded a video of unwrapping a case for the J7, which you guys see in this review video of what it is. But here's the video itself, and let's put it in landscape mode. And one thing you'll notice is that the sound is not very loud, which is kind of frustrating because with Samsung devices they're normally loud. Like my Galaxy S2 was pretty loud. Sometimes the audio sounded like it was gonna blow out if you had it on 100% high volume. And I think with so many people complaining about that, Samsung has dulled it down because even the J3 has this problem too. The sound is not all that loud. Transitioning from portrait to landscape is actually good. It's not the best, but I mean, every now and then you'll get this slight little pause, but not a tremendous long lag, which is something that I can deal with. Of course, scrolling while in video play works just fine. And again, that's the octa-core processor doing its thing. So, let's see. Let's take a look. What we're gonna do? Battery. Let's go look at the battery because that's another big thing. This device has a 3,000 milliamp hour battery. Now it's at 68% at the time of recording this, and I had it on for about 4 hours, and it says I have 12 hours and 28 minutes left on it, which is about accurate, honestly. Right there you see 4 hours, 46 minutes, and 52 seconds. So, and on the second day of actually using this device from 100% to 0, I literally got 17 hours. So, it's right there on the money where, it's telling me. Then, of course, it gives you times for power saving mode and ultra power saving mode. So, if you want to make it stretch, you can. It does have NFC and payment. So I'm pretty sure you can use Samsung's tap to pay. So that's quite nice to have. So I'm going to open up a bunch of apps right now and basically allow apps to run in the background while I do the benchmarks. Because let's face it, we don't close our apps all the time. We leave them running in background. So let's see what benchmark scores we get with a bunch of apps open and running in background. So now we're going to go ahead and launch Geekbench. And then I'm going to give you guys my final thoughts closing out this video while it runs the benchmarks. So let's get it in camera view. Let's hit run benchmarks. Yeah, can't talk. Okay, so the J7. What do I score it? 7 out of 10. Reason for that is that, size-wise, it's great. Screen size is in my zone. You have slight issues with the processing chip overheating, and that's just due to the fact that the 615 does have that issue along with the 808 from Qualcomm. But it only happened to me when I first initially booted the phone for the first time and had apps, being recovered from my Google account, is when it got really hot. Playing games, it got on the warm side, but not too hot, and YouTubing for hours has not caused my phone to overheat. So I think it's an issue with different phones and not all phones in general. Cameras is kind of a letdown when taking pictures, but taking videos is where it's at, which for me, I'm fine with because I like to vlog. I like to upload videos to Snapchat. So, it's going to handle just fine. But the pictures is not superly dull and bad. It's going to take decent pictures for the everyday user. But if you're a photographer, you're not going to like these cameras. So there's a big warning to that. The fact that it has NFC is nice, but I really don't use it. So not a big deal. And Samsung Briefing is a nice touch, just for something for me to read while I'm waiting around for things, running errands or whatever, and got a little downtime, want to catch up a good article. Briefing is there. It's actually pretty good. The audio is quite low. It's on the low side. Not super low, but it's not as loud as what Samsungs have been known to be, which is kind of disappointing when watching videos and stuff like that. You got to cuff that back area just to get good sound. So I kind of like to use my headphones, which is not a big deal because you have that headphone port at the bottom. So we got a score of 585 single core and 2226 multi-core, so not bad. Okay, but again, remember, this is just a budget device. This is not a flagship. It is not meant to replace flagships. That's all I'm saying. So $179.99 at Best Buy unless the sale has ended. Normal price $29.99. I'm sorry. So if you guys enjoyed my review, drop me a like, subscribe if you haven't, and you guys will see me in the next one. Bye.